here is wrong, and no one here is going to judge anyone else in here. This is a safe space for your radical imagination. Right? Right? Okay, so this is a community game. We are the community today. And in order for this community to build the future, I'm going to have to hear you. And I have to talk to you. So I'm going to be like the auntie in church and be like, I can't hear, what, huh? Right? Y'all are going to have to respond. And then I'm going to come to you and you're going to say things. But the first thing we have to do is introduce our artist and listener, Buffalo's own, Stacey Robinson. Stacey, you there?
Can you all hear me?
Yes, you can. How are you?
I am awesome.
Whatever you eat, man, I want a piece. I said, whatever you got going on in the culinary world, in your world right now, save me some, maybe a plate.
Oh yeah, I'm eating vegetarian nachos that my son made.
Nice! Well done. So,
very good.
Stacey's going to be here. He's going to be live drawing as we start talking. We call them listeners. He's going to realize some of the stuff that we're going to create today. Okay, so, AfroRithms of the future. How do we play? The first thing we have to do as a community today is choose two tensions. Now, Dr. Lonnie Brooks is going to tell us what the tension means.
Yeah. So, when we start with spiritual, think about what I was talking about. Do we have a world in the future that is more or less spiritual? What does that mean? Is it more enlightened? Is it more transformed? Is there radical transformation in religion or spirituality? Second one, we think more or less lifespan. In 1900 we lived to 40. Now, on a norm, we live into 80s. And what does that look like? What if we lived to 1,000 years? More or less artificial intelligence. Ooh, a world look like with more or less artificial intelligence. Right now AI can generate images just by being a prompt whisperer, from ourselves, describing an image. And what does more or less magic mean in our world? Magic is an important part of native spiritualities, Africana spiritualities. How do we make something happen? And then more or less social justice. What does that look like in our world too? And then more or less, what is that?
Black storytelling.
Black storytelling, yes. I don't know why it's so small there.
Recording in progress.
But black storytelling. So will it be a world with more or less black storytelling?
So Lonnie, tell the room what tensions are.
Oh yeah, tensions are, anything in the future that we're not sure quite how they may turn out. It's like a critical uncertainty. We're not quite sure how it's going to happen. And how would the world be changed with more or less of it in it? So, in the official forecasting methodology, they're called critical uncertainties. And I'm like, boring. Let's have tensions. That's like really gets at the heart of it. It's a tension about whether something's going to happen or not.
So, in the world of democratic futurism, you are going to decide which two tensions move you as a community today, right? This is part of the awareness of the present. So which two tensions move you as a community today? So Matt, can I get somebody in the house? You're going to vote by raising of hands, and then don't worry about defining the tensions. We're going to do that after we choose them. We're going to define as a community what the two tensions that we choose mean. Okay? So, just whatever hits you, whatever is inspiring to you today, wherever you feel inside yourself, are the two tensions that you're going to vote for. Okay, so, who's feeling spiritual? Okay, that's good.
People can vote twice, right?
Yes.
Like actually.
That's a good one.
1, 2, 3.
That's a big one. Got it?
Yep.
Good. Lifespan.
Okay, that's easier for me. All right.
4.
Great.
Artificial intelligence. didn't plan that at all. You completely planned it. Okay, magic. Oh, look at that.
I'm not gonna count that. I feel like
That's a lot.
I'm not gonna do that.
Just write down the
How
line.
many people do that?
Then you've got magic to do. Social justice. Oh, that's another good one. Just for you. Wow. And black storytelling. That's cool. Okay. So it looks like the two tensions are.
There are some clear winners here. Magic and social justice.
Magic and social justice. Okay, those are the two winners here. Magic and social justice. Okay, so now we have to define those terms. What does magic mean to you today? Carol.
Magic means talking poem.
Talking what? Can you say it again?
Talking poem.
Talking pugs. Good dog. Talking pugs. That would definitely be magical if a bug could talk. Who else has a definition of magic? Oh, Nito.
The world to be a better place.
The world to be a better place. Nito. Love you. Love you, Nito. Talking pugs. The world to be a better place. Who else has a definition of magic?
Immediate healing.
Immediate healing. I like that. World to be a better place, immediate healing. The impetus of being in the world, right? The collective healing makes the world a better place. I like that idea. Collective healing, magic.
Things that you just don't understand.
The unknown, the embracing of the unknown, the letting the unknown be the unknown. Not searching for the answers, allowing things to happen. Yes?
Yeah, I just gotta say, scary superstitions.
Superstitions. How do we feel about that? A reverence for superstitions? Or an awareness of superstitions? A feeling of superstitiousness?
Using your imagination and your heart to create the future.
Oh, imagination and heart and creation of the future. I like all of those, right? Imagination and heart to create the future. Make the world a better place, right? Healing. Healing. Communication. Yes. Being able to speak to not only pugs, but other sorts of canines, right? And what was yours again?
The unknown.
The unknown, the embracing and the awareness of the unknown. I love all of those. All right. Now, social justice. What's social justice? Anyone have a definition for social justice today as a community? What is social justice? Yes.
The present we gotta make.
The present we need to make, an awareness of the present. What else? Social justice. Social justice. What does that mean to you today? Don't be shy. It's a community game. Let's everybody talk. Talk. What does it mean to you today? Go.
Sorry, I just have a connection between the two.
Yeah.
I need to mention. Magic for me would be the use of, like, a responsible use of nature. But also an equitable use of nature regarding the social, I guess.
That's fantastic. An equitable, responsible use of nature and the natural. Social justice.
Universal empathy.
Universal empathy. That's a fantastic. Universal empathy. Anybody else got it? Social justice. One more. One more. Yes.
Equitability in choice, voice, representation, and opportunity.
There it is. Equitability, choice, voice, representation, opportunity. Yeah.
So it's kind of like spelling. When you do it right, you don't notice it at all. So it would be like that.
An innate feeling of equality and egalitarianism.
Just basic fairness.
Basic fairness. I love that. Nice and simple. Okay, those are all wonderful definitions of social justice. Remember those. remember those, all right? Feel them, get them in you, get them all part of your empathic ability. Because what we're going to do is go to the game board. We are going to have to choose along the Colunga lines. How much social justice and how much magic we want on our world. So what we're doing right now is we're taking ourselves off this planet, out of this galaxy, into an unknown part of the universe. And this is our world. We are going to create a world of social justice and magic. And we're going to put it out there in the middle of the universe, right? And we're going to do it along the Colunga line. So Dr. Mani, tell us what the Colunga line, remind us what the Colunga lines are.
The Colunga lines separate the land of the living from the land of our ancestors. And where the land of the living meet our ancestors is where we create the liminalities and possibilities of the future.
Tell us what the liminal space is.
The liminal space is a space where anything can happen. Everything is in flux. The rich can become poor, the poor can become rich. We can all be born with trillions of dollars in our bank account. We can all be born wealthy and healthy and inspired.
That's why these definitions that we create today are the definitions we're going to use. These may not be the definitions that you are used to. These may not be the definitions that you are comfortable with. And these may not be the definitions you know. But these are the definitions of those words and in this community today. And that's what we're going to build. Now you have to decide how much magic and how much social justice we want in this world. 5 being ultimate magic, ultimate social justice. 1 being no magic. No magic. All right? In our game, there are 2 roles. I'm the seer. Dr. Mani is the librarian. Now, as the seer, I help you synthesize ideas. I help get it out. I help create and I craft. Dr. Mani will give you context and he keeps us just grounded and rooted in Afrofuturism. We do not influence the game. Your world is the world you build. However, we have one caution. One person's utopia is another person's dystopia. So you must leave room for the community. If you think 5-5 is a utopia, 5-5 may be someone in the community's dystopia. So keep that in mind when you choose how much magic and how much social justice we are as a world. Okay? So, from 1 to 5, let's do social justice first. And you can put up fingers and hands, right? 1 to 5. How much social justice should we have as a world? I knew that was going to happen.
Makes my job easier.
4. There's a 4. There's a 4. There's a 4.
Still mostly 5.
About 5. Nico has a 5. Camilo has a 5. 3. That's a really good one. It's another 3. Looks like the majority is 5.
Around that 5.
All right. So it's 5 social justice. Do not influence the game. How much magic? Cal has a 5. Ooh, there's 2 magics. 3. It's between 3, 3. A couple of 4s, 2 5s. It looks like mostly 3s. 3 magic. This is why I love this game. It's so interesting. Actually, I know what you're saying. Love that. I love that. Okay. So, Jay, you wrote down the definitions, right? The words that everyone uses. Can you just remind us what social justice and magic are?
All right. So magic is namely talking pugs being immediate healing, making the world a better place. I can't really read my handwriting, but I do believe something about the unknown, superstitions, imagination, and using nature responsibly, as well as general canine communication.
What is
That wasn't social justice. Universally is just the basic concept of fairness. How we make universal empathy. The present we need to make. It's an innate feeling, importantly as well. Things like that.
All right, so now comes the fun part. Now we build artifacts based on an incredible amount of social justice. And right in the middle there, magic, right? So what we have are inspiration cards, object cards, and system cards, yeah? Inspiration cards, those are the things that inspire us, right? Object cards, they're things. Systems, those are groups, how we practice, how we put things together, right? So you take an inspiration card, you put it with an object card, and then you make something new. You take a system card and an inspiration card, you make something new. You take 3 inspiration and 3 systems, you make something new. It's just make new stuff. Based on these things up here, we also have our players who are carefully planted in the front row. They also have cards. And they'll throw out inspirations, objects, and or systems based on their decks if we need some more inspiration to build some stuff. Okay?
Handing out some more as well.
And Dr. Lonnie's handing out some more. Hopefully, we'll have some talking pups come through here and give us some artifacts and information. Okay, so let's do this. You do not have to have an artifact synthesized right off the top of your head. We as a community will help build all of that, right? All you have to do is just have an idea, something that moves you. If you're feeling like Viola Davis and skirt, if those 2 things you're feeling, then you can create something with the community, and he's a woman king, okay? So, who's feeling something? Well, listen. Come to you.
It might be hard.
Go. Yes, you go.
Missy Elliott's sex education curriculum.
Missy Elliott's sex education. And what is the artifact that we're making? Something new. When we put those things together, what are you thinking?
I imagine that it is a sculpture that feels good on your body.
Oh, like a haptic.
Yes.
A haptic sculpture.
That's it exactly. Yes.
All right, let's take that haptic Missy Elliott sex education sculpture and let's throw in some magic and some social justice. What would this haptic sculpture inspired by Missy Elliott, what's the magic social justice of it? Yes?
What the social justice is a curriculum that's built around it that has a whole pleasurably-based sex education training for young people.
That would be wonderful. So you put the haptic suit on, and then you learn through field sex education.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? What else? What's the book? What's the book? Okay?
I'm an 7th, 8th grade teacher, so the idea
Basic sex education is a little awkward.
Why is that awkward? You think a pleasure-based sex education is too much for 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds?
No, for me to be in the room.
No one said you have to be in the room. Where'd you get that from? They just have the suit. You don't have to look at them with the suit on. Yeah, the magic is as soon as you put it on, it disappears. I love that. I love that. All right, where's another artifact? Who's feeling something? Who's building an artifact? Here we go. Let's go.
Viola Davis Public Park.
Viola Davis Public Park. All right. Whatever you say, I'll be there.
I'm thinking of public park systems based around Viola Davis's work. So each time she has new work, a new park pops up.
A new park inspired by Viola Davis's work. I love that. I love that. It could, and here's why I love that part, because Viola Davis is, as a transformative former, and when she steps into roles, she disappears into roles, right? So when you step into this park could start out as a park that we all know and love with trees and everything, but as soon as we walk in there, whatever you're feeling at the moment, it transforms. So if it's a beach, it turns into a beach. Yeah? If it's a mountain, boom, it turns into a mountain. Right? And each position in the park, that's the magic of the park, right? You can just whack, turn it as soon as you walk in, right? And each place in the park, each monument in the park, is a tribute to social justice, right? Teaches you about something social in the community that we all need to work. That's beautiful. Viola Davis Park. I want to go to there and move in with a picnic. Right? Who else? You got something?
I was just going to build upon the Viola Davis.
Let's go.
Okay. I was going to say a part that is devoted to performance art and public theater.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I love that. So, what if the plants in the park could perform? Right?
Sure.
Like singing tulips. Trees that, like the ants in Lord of the Rings, right? Trees that can do a play. Talking pugs. Come on. Callum's at the park. Callum's at the park. Who else has got something? Yeah.
Thanks.
I got you.
Building off of that idea, I have design and food sustainability, and I'm also really feeling of medicine and the new modes of sensing.
Yes.
With the public park, wondering if there's like also, in terms of like justice, but mixing the magic in. I don't know if it's like healing foods or like just you go to work when you need sustenance, and that's the thing.
I love it. I love it. In the park, there's a section of the park that's just an apothecary, right? It's a medicine pouch. It's a medicine park, right? You can walk in and then, you said new modes of sensing, right? When you walk into the park, the plants feel what you need to heal, right? As you walk through, so it's like blades of grass. The blades of grass are like, they just feel your body as you walk through. And then that gives them the information to give you the medicine that you need. Yeah, even if it's emotional medicine. Maybe a tree comes out and that gives you a hug. Yeah? That'd be beautiful. I love that. I love that. The apothecary park. There's somebody, Nito! Come to Nito!
I was thinking of sort of medicine about having masks to be on until everybody has the vaccine to be safe.
I love that. So the park has protection. As soon as you walk in, like maybe there are mushrooms that you can pull over and use as ways to protect yourself from those who might have a communicable disease, right? Communicable disease, yeah? And then you can walk through the apothecary part of the park and touch a tree, and it will be the vaccine. You know? Like aspirin. Aspirin was developed from trees, right? So you have all of these like, vaccine trees. No needles, just like as soon as you touch them, it's right into your skin. Yeah? Love that. Thank you, Nito. Love that kid. Love that kid. Callum, what you got?
I have one about protection.
Go.
Magic traps.
Magic traps. What are we trapping?
I don't know, really. Traps designed to ward off people who, like, I don't exactly know how to word it. Please come back.
I got your back. Magic traps. I got your back. People traps those who don't believe in social justice, right? You walk through our world, any visitor of our world who tries to take over, right? Any authoritarian, any dictator, you step on our world, magic trap, boom! We don't believe in your ways of thinking, yeah? I know, right? That's definitely a fine magic. Go!
I have a parable of the Sour Library.
Oh, that's beautiful. What are you thinking?
So imagine a library where you can, besides reading books, actually like inhabit them or listen or travel to the stories that you're reading about and feel. I mean, feel as the character in the novel, she's a hyper-empathy. So
Yeah.
be able to feel the journey of the novel that you read.
I love that. And since we're a world based on social justice, the magic is you're able to just zap right into the books, right? You still have an awareness of the world and where we are as a world, right? Because we're three magic. But our world is based off of social justice. So in this library, it's the story of our world and how we got there, right? How we became a world so filled with this idea of social justice. And you can live through the characters in the book, right? And you can feel, because of the hypersensitivity, you can feel the characters of the book. I love that. I love that. Powerful and sour library. Go.
Okay, so I have two new ones. So my inspiration is new modes of sensing.
Yes.
And the object is piercings. And so I thought about, so we'll call them IB earrings. So implicit bias earrings. And so like when your implicit bias is like not being checked, your earrings give you like a little tingle.
Word.
And you have to check yourself.
The check yourself earrings. What if the earrings was like, check yourself before you wreck yourself? I love that. The check yourself earring. Here, I think what's also special about the check yourself earring is, right? A lot of times when we talk about implicit bias, everybody says, well, I didn't mean any harm, right? I didn't know. Well, if the earrings can store that information, and whoever wears those earrings, or whoever, all of us in society, in the social justice world, right? We all get a pair at birth. And it has the information of all of that implicit bias. So as we continue walking through, we learn, right? There'll be a lot of ears tingling for a long time, right? What if they were like different colors as well, right? Based on levels of implicit bias. If you really biased,
You get hoops.
yeah. You get hoop earrings. You get bamboo earrings, at least 3 pairs, right? Beautiful. Implicit bias earrings. Then check yourself earrings. I love it. Who else? Who's got one? Who's got? Yo, another one.
So I got new cards.
Yes.
The object is film and the inspiration is black children.
Yes. Great.
So, what I'm envisioning is, and I study film, so the fact that I have this card affirms that it was meant for me to be here.
Absolutely.
So, I'm thinking about affirmation and pleasure conveyed through a cinematic language.
That's beautiful. Affirmation and pleasure conveyed through a cinematic language. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Black joy, film. What if we have a film of our lives, right? This is kind of goes along with the check yourself hearing, right? Have a film of our lives that end up in our empathic library, right? And is able to be dramatized. And at the end of our lives, we get to watch this film and see how much social justice we gave to the world. Yeah, and it's archived and saved for our future generations. Yes?
What if we value it like in our society, we value that as medicine. So when you go to the doctors, it's not just, this pill or that, but it's like, no, watch this film because we know that it's going to change your molecular makeup because it's going to, it's going to send off these synapses and hormones, and we recognize that this is actually medicine.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, emotional medicine, mental health medicine, mental awareness medicine. We get to watch it, we get to live through not just a member on the planet, but an ancestor, right? This is how your ancestor dealt with this same problem. Even if we're talking about like something that might be genetic, right? We have that information on this film, right, that we can experience. It's wonderful. One more. I need one more artifact. I need one more artifact. Actually, 2 more. I'm coming.
This is inspiration. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Mental health awareness.
Yes.
It's building on the park that everybody built. That there would be a tree that would store memories, but also would be a place where we could go back and retrieve the memories of our ancestors and then leave gifts for the future generations.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's the tree of knowledge. Yeah, I can go in our Viola Davis Park as well.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. One more.
So I got inspiration in K. Jameson.
Yeah, K. Jameson.
And cities.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing cities that are multidimensional, right? As human beings are they transcend being human as multidimensional.
Yes. So we're able to live in a city in a multitude of dimensions, like a tesseract city, right? A city where we can just focus on time, right, and live in time. Stacy, I want to go to you, Stacy.
Stacy can't hear very well.
I know.
Hey,
Stacy.
Peter. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Want to see what you're working on.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not hearing you going very well. So I need, I believe Lonnie is putting ideas in the chat.
Oh,
so
right on.
I'm about to get started on it, so I'm very sorry. I haven't been hearing very much.
No worries, Stacy. As long as you get some stuff right now, you can get started, and we'll come back to you in a couple. But we want to choose our obelisk. Now, the obelisk in AfroRithms from the Future is the artifact that best describes who we are as a planet. And we send that artifact into space, and whomever comes upon our artifact, they know who we are. They know what we believe in, right? They know what we love. They know what we care about, what we care for, right? So one of these artifacts will be our obelisk. And it's up to you to choose which artifact becomes the obelisk. Okay? Will it be the invisible suit of pleasure education, Missy Elliott, and sex education? I can't stand the rain. Will it be the magic shots for dictators? Oh, so let's vote, right? Who loves who? By just raising hands, right?
Go first?
Huh?
Go through them all?
Yeah, let's go through them all. Okay. Auto masks to prevent diseases. That's Nito's, right?
Yeah.
The immersive library. Love that one. Probably saw. The check yourself before you wreck yourself earrings. The film of life and legacy. We have the Viola Davis Park as well, right? That's in there. Viola Davis Park performance, art and public theater. Magic pugs.
That's part of the park.
Talking pugs in the park. Are those all of our artifacts?
And multi-dimensional cities, yes.
Multi-dimensional cities. Okay. So, yes.
How many times do you vote?
You can go as many times as you want.
Okay. Let's run.
Let's see what happens.
Let's go with twice. Twice is good, I'd say.
Okay, let's go for the invisible suit of pleasure. Arms and hands up.
I like it.
Now we know who's doing what at the end of the play.
15.
15 for the invisible suit of pleasure.
The auto mask.
The auto mask.
Be a mushroom too.
The mushroom auto mask. I love that. The mycelium mask.
My man.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Excellent. Magic traps.
Magic traps for dictators. I like that one. We can use that one in the United States of America right now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The immersive library. Oh, see, that's the crowd for this. That's the crowd. That's a lot.
45.
Most of the people. The check yourself before you wreck yourself, Aaron.
For branding alone.
My mom would love it. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
18.
My mother was giving us gifts, just nice passive. Happy birthday. The film of life and legacy. I love that one. It's beautiful. I'm a film The biggest part of performance and healing and talking bugs.
18 as well. Or
18. Multi-dimensional cities. That's a good one. I get that one. That's the sci-fi guy in me. I would love that.
Looks like we got some check yourself earrings being drawn.
Check yourself earrings. That's right, Stacy. 3 pairs. Okay, so it looks like our obelisk is the immersive library parable of the Sour Press Library. That is our obelisk. That's what we're going to send out into space. That's what it represents us as a world. And that is how you play AfroRithms from the future. Okay. Here's how we wrap this up. I always love this quote that Dr. Martin Luther King made famous. And this quote was, "The aftermath of nonviolence is the beloved community." And I felt like, that is such a future-forward thing to say, right? The aftermath of nonviolence. We're always thinking about what's going to come next. And as people, corporeal beings trapped in the present, all we have is our imagination to move us through to what could be. Everything that we're living in right now was designed by someone, right? Every system of oppression that we have fought out of was designed by someone. It was crafted, it was created. It didn't just happen. Somebody thought about it and somebody made it. From racism to neoliberalism, it was crafted, it was designed, it was created. And we just went along with it. We can choose the future that we want to live. Every single one of us has agency over our future. The future is not something that just happens to you. And it shouldn't be something that billionaires decide for you. It is something that we create as a community. From the voices of Carolyn Nito to Dr. Lonnie and myself. We create our future. What we try to do with AfroRithms is build that path. Every single one of these artifacts that we created today can be created today. It just takes our creativity and radical imagination. And if we keep thinking forward, if we keep imagining the aftermath of nonviolence, then we will build the beloved community. Yeah? Dr. Mike.
Yeah. Noam Chomsky's interesting because I studied him at UCLA. And one thing he says is that human beings can create an infinitely long sentence. And if we can do that, we can create an infinite number of ideas. And that's what I love about seeing this game played out among you, is that there are this infinite number of ideas that can heal ourselves and heal each other. And I want to leave you with that inspiration, that we can really create the future now. It doesn't have to be abstract, it can be right now. So just thank you for being here. Thank you for the kids in the room that are the next, gen to the XCY. And I just want to hand it off to my great folks here, Jay Favello, and this inspirational.
Thank you so much for coming and playing with us today. As I alluded to a little bit earlier when I was doing my reading there, I used to be a political speaker, and I often found myself in these rooms where we would stop our imaginations for the future before we even had the conversation. Any ideas that we had or progress we wanted to make, told no constantly, that it wasn't the right time or that we couldn't foreseeably have this in our day-to-day. So what I appreciate about what everyone's doing here today is not stopping your imagination and actually having fun with it, you know? Thank you to the kids here, excellent. Thank you to my man Matt in the back, excellent sound work. Everyone give it for Matt real quick. Thank you to our teachers, players. Stacy, thank you. Excellent. Wonderful stuff. So, appreciate you all. Thank you for coming.
Join us tomorrow.
Join us tomorrow at the Silo, where we'll be talking about this and we'll be answering questions. We're going to leave Stacy up to create just for a little bit so we can see the wonderful work that he does. And thank you all for playing the game.